A lot of people don't realize how trimming trees is really good for safety, and it also provides for a really good look. I'm going to be trimming the trees on the driveway, especially some of these lower branches, to get that good look. And I'm going to get this done, finish the driveway in the back, and then I'm going to start in the woods and working on my fire lines. So stay tuned and I'll carry you along. These oak trees have been in here 25 years since we have been in the house. But what I want to make sure that I can do, especially these lower branches right here, get those limbed up. We have quite a few storms to come in. And so when these storms come in, some of these lower branches that are the heavier, as those hurricane winds are whipping around here, that puts quite a bit of weight on that side of the tree. And then when the storm goes through and the winds come in from the opposite direction, then that side's a little bit weak and sometimes those trees can go down. And I certainly want to prevent that. And in addition, it'll be less leaves to fall that I'll have to contend with. This morning we're going to look at limbing some of these lower limbs off of this oak tree that I have right here. It'll be the first of many that I'll be doing. And what I always like doing is coming in here and surveying the bottom and seeing which limbs I need to take off, and then make sure I maintain the shape of the tree. So I'm just going to start doing a few of those limbs right now. And of course, I think I'm going to have to extend my saw out a few feet. Maybe that'll do it. I hope so. The further out that your saw is out, the heavier and more difficult it gets just to hold it. So I keep looking at it to see how it's going. Those few limbs did pretty well. I see I've got about 3 right here I want to get. Missed that one. Really don't have it extended up far enough. Some of those limbs look a little closer to the ground than they are until you get right underneath them. Then they seem to be pretty high. that's it for this tree. I'll stand back and look at it, make sure I've maintained the shape of the tree. But this way, that'll take some of the weight off, let some more light get down to the ground. Maybe my grass will come in a little thicker. Well, not any thicker, it'll just come in and maybe get more sunlight and won't kill it out. But you can see how I've got my nice umbrella shape underneath the tree right now. Now this is the tree on the driveway that seems to be giving me the most trouble. I bet I've walked around this thing 30 minutes trying to evaluate how I want to cut it so that I won't leave any gaps in it as I do cut it. Because you can see my problem is right here at the very end where it's just branched out over the driveway. And in order to cut any of that off, if I cut any, I've got to go so far back that I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep the look of the tree that I want. So I think I'm just going to start right there at that crook and take a little bit off the edges and just see what I can finally get off at the end to make it look like that I have not gapped it up. But you know, after you cut, the decision's been made, so you have to live with it. But I just want to do a final ride through on the main portion of the driveway where we have all the oak trees trimmed. That's the youngest one right there to replace the pecan tree. Trim that up. I didn't really trim this one, but I got the rest of them. Got all the branches hauled off. This was the one that was over the driveway pretty much. So we're getting them back in pretty good shape. These last two turned out to be my biggest ones. They were all planted at the same time, but I don't know, they just got to be bigger some way or another. My dog was waiting on me. Trim up these crepe motors a little bit. I'll need to get this one. I'm thinking about getting a little bucket for my front end loader, like a bucket cage where you can stand in it and have rails on it. I think that would be the trick for this. And then this is the back portion of my driveway that leads out by the barn. We planted these oak trees at the same time I did the long leaves. So I'll trim these up, and I'll trim those up pretty good and see if I can't get those all even at the bottom and start getting this backside looking in pretty good shape. And I showed you this morning what we did on the on my fire lane right here. I gave you a shot from the other end. This is a shot from this end. And I'll get these limbs out of here and get it bush hogged, and y'all will be able to tell something then. Then I'll come through here with that tiller and get it ready to plow so we can run a fire through here. But I think that's going to be it. All right, day 2 out here on my fire lanes. You can see this morning I've got my little harness on because I've got enough to do today that my arms got a little tired yesterday. So this will just help with some of that stress on my arms. up with my grapple on my front end loader. I've got the bush hogging done. I've come through here now before we get ready for the fire, and I'll either blow this off. It looks like I may not need to till it up. So it looks like I've got some mineral soil right there, so I can just get a blower and blow it off, and then just have somebody come down this lane. And as always, there's one branch you see that you didn't get. That's it right there. Had a gentleman to come out here to check on me, Mr. Lacey right here. He comes out here and tries to keep me straight every once in a while. When we get up here, I'll show you the interior lane.
Oh, this looks good. Real good. It looks like a park.
Takes a little bit of work, but it's worth it. This is just an interior lane, and I use this. I don't till it or anything, but when we come through here with the fire, we'll take this four-wheeler right here, and we'll just drive down it and have one person sitting over here with the drip torch and just drop some fire, and it'll help us go a little bit faster. Lawnmower and cut it down real low, and then on this section I'll decide if I need to come back through here with the tiller. I'm just pretty much of a stickler when it comes to my fire breaks, because I really like it not jumping and having to cause any fire where you don't want it to be.
Are you going to burn this again this fall?
I'm hoping to burn it this month. We got that PVA meeting out here on the 25th, and we're going to do a learn and burn, and I think we're going to use this to do my learn and burn on. Trying to get some other people out here to get into PVA. You know, I told you about that. You're planning on coming, aren't you?
Yeah. Say the 25th?
25th, Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Look at this. It's beautiful down through here.
So there's enough fuel in there, I ought to be able to burn that pretty well.
Oh, heck yeah.
And especially this time of year, since it's not a complete dormant burn, I ought to be able to have some success of knocking out some of these sweet gums in here, which will hopefully get us some more forbs and grasses and things to come back in. I just bush hog this. I'll probably put a strip in here just to make sure the fire won't cross. So I don't think it will, but as dry as this grass is, I mean, it wouldn't take but just a little bit of a spark to get over there.
We kind of will. It's beautiful right here.
After we get a burn, I'll come through here and do another video and show them what it looks like after the burn. Now we're just going through all the prep to get the burn.
We didn't burn that last year, did we?
Did that 2 years. We're gonna burn all this back here this year, hopefully. For these trees this morning, these are on the back side of my driveway back here by the barn. Instead of going through and showing you the sawing that I'm doing, I thought I would just take a little video right here, kind of a, we'll call this the before picture. And then after I get them trimmed and cleaned up, I'll give you a brief after picture just so you can see the comparison between the two. This is the final shot of the drive back by the barn where I've just completed the limbing. And if you look down, maybe from that previous little clip that I had, maybe you can see the height that I took these things up to. And if we walk along, it doesn't really look like we took that much off, but then when you look at what we have down here on the ground, you can see it was a significant amount. So now I can see all the way under there, which is what I wanted. And I think it's good for the trees to get some of that weight off the bottom. It's good for the grass underneath for sure to get a little bit more light to it. So the only thing left now to do is to get the tractor with the grapple and get these things picked up and hauled out of here. I probably won't show that because I want to finish up this clip or this video, because I bet I have 30 clips in there that I've got to edit and figure out how to do. But in any event, if y'all will like, share, and comment, that would certainly help out, and I really would appreciate it. Subscribe, that would be even better. And as we go through the year, the next thing I'll be working on really from the CSP is probably doing some burning and getting the pollinator plot in. So more to come. Thank you, everybody.